Hi friends, under this particular part I'm going to discuss about the perspectives exclusively which are meant for the balanced scorecard. The first and foremost is the learning and the growth perspective. I have taken up this one initially as per the founders of this particular, or the people who had given to us this particular theory itself. Now according to them, there has to be staff which is more interested in learning and training, so that they get the results depending upon the improvements which we get it through the knowledge resource. Now there are various considerations that we need to understand so that the measurement takes place. And what are the job satisfaction, employee turnover, which are four in number: job satisfaction, employee turnover, levels of specialist knowledge and skill, and the fourth one is the training opportunities that the particular company is giving to the employees or the staff. Now here you will see that if we take it up, a company, let's say a BPO industry or another organization which is focusing exclusively on sales. Now there are managers. The managers should be able to identify where they should be investing their funds for personal development, and it is not just the training that you get it through the particular staff member. However, it has to be on based upon mentor schemes and improving the communication amongst the staff members. Usually even when I was present at GE and I was taking care of my team, and not just one team, I had a good number of teams under me, and I was able to see that they used to come up and they used to, when I used to organize what we call it as 101 sessions with them, they used to come and tell me, Ramni ma'am, I would love to go ahead with this particular. No, we always used to encourage what we call it as the initiatives taken from the staff member, number one. Number two, we ask them, why don't you just mention what kind of a training program you require it? Okay, is it based upon your business, the process related, or you want to do it for your own personal development? So there were quite a number of training programs which were available, and during these 101 sessions, these executives used to come and they used to point it out that yes, I need to complete, and it was mandatory in the industry that yes, within the 3 months they need to complete so many the personal development training programs for themselves, so that the improvements, in case the executive or the assistant manager or the supervisor, or you can say the team leader or SME, was not able to do it, then it was my role to suggest them, okay, you need this particular thing, please go ahead and complete the training and come back to me again and report to me with the relevant changes. So you will see the importance of it. While the third perspective is about the concrete process side of things, the final perspective depends upon the intangible drivers of the performance itself. Because once we have got this kind of a thing, we know that the resources which are available to me in the form of the human beings I would be able to encash in terms of their skills, talent, the knowledge. And later on I can see that this will be focusing more on skill assessment, performance management scores, and training effectiveness, and that's what I was telling earlier, that yes, once they have completed, they need to come back and report to me that yes, I have completed and this is what happened earlier to me, and now this is what I have achieved. And then I have to even monitor whether these kind of things are being taken care properly and they are able to manage it on the shop floor also or not. The information capital, definitely yes, we need to focus on this also, wherein databases, information systems in the form of the computers, networks and technology infrastructure like safety system, data protection system, infrastructure investment. Now engineers are always present in big companies like Dell, Infosys, Convergys, or even GE, I should say. In fact, that should come for the first one. I've seen that they invest a lot. An IT department usually used to come and then they used to tell us, okay, we require it immediately. Now you see, any operation system, especially in some areas, I have seen that they have quality parameters are always there. Now in order to ensure that yes, the quality work is being taken care of properly, we need to understand that yes, this is what is required. For example, if it is a BPO industry, you need to monitor the calls also. So call quality is there. Apart from that, the process needs to be properly working, operating properly. similarly, for that we had different quality parameters in terms of the green belt projects or the master belt, black belt. They used to come up and then we used to do it so that the entire thing is being improved properly and the performance is coming up in a nice manner. Similarly, the IT department, if they had come up and they said that we want this particular thing to be taking up, we had to do it. And that's why every quarter it was mandatory to roll out what we call it as the lean competitions in the company, so that any kind of a thing that the team thinks that yes, it has to be automated, we used to take that kind of a measurement that yes, it has to be completed in time. Now, organizational capital, that's the next one, wherein we talk about the culture. Now for example, we know that it's a company and we need to bring in that multicultural, then all kind of festivals need to be celebrated, then the birthdays, wedding anniversaries, this is the culture and we need to maintain them so that the person who is present over there feels belongs to the company and understand that okay, I'm not present at the home, I'm away from the home, but still I'm able to celebrate that particular festival, or a simple wish, happy birthday to you, really brings in the smile and the person forgets the entire depression or the sadness or whatever the person is feeling about. So even that is also being taken care. So the culture, the leadership, employee alignment, teamwork, knowledge management, all these things depends on the again I would say learning and growth perspective. Now for example, staff engagement, if I don't see that my staff members are not interacting with each other, the best thing that we used to do it is every Friday buffet system for the dinner. If we are working in the night time, every person from the team has to bring in their food from home and all of us together. Or on Sunday, it was like my place, everybody used to jump in and they used to contribute their working style to cook, and or they used to get from their homes, and all of us we used to. So that's the one more way. Or we used to go out together for a dinner party and we used to enjoy. So the staff engagement is always present. Employee net promoter scores, this is the appraisal. At the time of the appraisals, we used to monitor, and then the entire system was present as to how I'm supposed to grade the other person. Corporate culture audits, then definitely yes, HR is always waiting to understand whether the culture is being taken care properly or not. So these are certain things that we incorporate, especially under the domain of learning and growth perspective. The scorecards are there. So for example, in this case, it would be training department, the operation department, HR department, and the IT department. All four of us are interacting with each other in order to get the balanced scorecard to understand all the parameters that I was just discussing about. The next one is the internal business, I should say, processes. Now, what are these internal? Now, you see, in companies, it's a culture. They say that every employee, is like an internal customer for you. Forget about the external ones. The internal customer should be happy for you, so that you are making the external customer happy. If you're unable to make your team members happy, then you cannot make the external client also. So therefore, we need to focus on the internal business processes. These are the activities per function, process alignment, and process automation. Automation is the main thing. Nowadays it's a buzz that yes, every company is focusing on that yes, the process needs to be automated as much as possible. And that's why they have these kind of quotations: to satisfy our shareholders and customers, what business processes must we excel at? So every time if I have to make somebody happy, then it has to be you have to think a lot in order to understand what ultimately am I doing. Now this perspective allows managers, I'm taking up because this we are talking in terms of the company and the organization, to see how well the businesses is performing or are performing based on whether the products and services are meeting the needs of the clients. Now I would say it's not just the client, but even internally also these things are being taken care of properly. Now, in order to understand what processes do you need to put in place to deliver your customer and the finance related objectives. Now this question comes in more and more often. So the examples for the further internal process objectives can be process improvements like streamlining and internal approved process. The next one would be quality optimization, wherein we are thinking continuously how to reduce the manufacturing waste, or even the performances. We have to introduce those lean ideas like Kaizen or Kanban or 5S. All these things were completely utilized so that we are reducing the waste. Even the utility, the way we used to use the paperwork, no, we have to reduce. So everything was mostly automated so that the paperwork was reduced at most. Then the next one would be the capacity utilization, wherein we are using the technology as much as possible so that we can motivate and boost our own efficiencies in terms of the performances. The moment I know, I don't have to keep on looking at my watch to see. Like for example, I know one team had around 50 executives along with the SME, that is subject matter expert, then team leader, supervisor, then assistant manager. So this was what constitutes one particular team. Now in that particular team, we have to understand. Now I, as a general manager who's sitting in her own cabin, will not monitor at what time the assistant manager has got up from the seat so that the person can have a smoke break, or it can be like going for a small walk or for dinner break. Or so we had to automate the system. The person before leaving just clicks on login or log out at what time. The moment he comes in, login, we come to know, and immediately it used to alert me that yes, so many people are out for the break and so many people have logged in, and these many people are out for whatever the break is available to them, and these are the people who are available on the shop floor. That is the automation process that we used to follow. So similarly, technology was there for capturing each and everything, and in case it was not available, then yes, we need to automate it, and the requisitions was given to the IT, and we used to tell them that yes, we need so and so thing, so we can understand how the internal business practices or the processes were taking place. I think these two things I have discussed. Let me go ahead in another part and I'll be discussing with two more perspectives of it. Till then, thanks. Bye.